Great, we are here on the Off the Cuff show with Masai Lincoln, and I'm here with a very special guest, Alex Whitey. How are you?
Very good, thank you very much, mate.
Yeah. Okay, so you are the first team manager of Croydon FC.
Yes.
How did you get into that? Because you've been doing it for about a year and a half.
Yes, I managed Croydon for 18 months. I was manager of Thamesmead before that, assistant manager.
Wait, who? Sorry?
Thamesmead.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Thamesmead. So I managed Thamesmead for a little bit. And I was at Elmstead before that, but I've been here, there, and everywhere really in the lower echelons of non-league football in South London. So, yeah, here I am today. Unfortunately, I guess.
Yeah, well, why'd you say unfortunately?
It's a tough gig, mate. Management of it is a tough gig. I mean, look, everyone knows that you've got full-time jobs and everything else that is tough, and management is hard at any level of football, but actually at this level of football is even harder because your commitment actually has to be like you're not just managing.
You've got to be fully committed.
Yeah, you're not just managing a football team.
How did you actually start? Was you when you was younger? Was you one of these guys that did coaching young? Because I actually interviewed a guy maybe a month or so ago who's a youth development coach at Millwall, but he's only about 24, 25.
Yeah,
and he said he just started coaching kids when he was young, and then he just carried on.
Yeah,
keep going. I was going to say it's still recording. Keep going.
I was not very good at football, to be totally honest with you. So
join the club.
Yeah, I was not very good at football, but I loved the game, and I started out, working in media. And to be honest with you, my eldest brother, he started a football team on a Sunday, and they're like, "We need a manager." And I was like, "Oh, I can do that. I can be a manager." So I managed my brother's team, and quite enjoyed that part of it, and probably consider myself a bit of a Jose Mourinho of lower football, of Sunday League, and I loved football, so I ended up. A lot of my friends played non-league football, semi-professional football, and I used to go and watch them, and I got quite friendly with a few managers, and ended up picking up cones for a couple of them, Forest Hill Park and different teams, and just kind of worked my way up really to getting into.
And was it ever a thing where, because you're a Palace fan, aren't you?
I am a Palace fan.
Yeah. So was you always sort of thinking when you were younger you wanted to get into coaching and management, or was it just sort of something?
Really. Do you know what? I'm coaching isn't my passion. Managing is my passion, and that's different.
Oh, okay.
It's very different. I don't. I do get on the grass, and certainly when it comes to pre-season, that's my bag. I love making people run, but genuinely, coaching isn't my passion. My passion is managing. I love managing people, and I love that procedure of going through, getting somebody, making them better, go through the high moments, the low moments, the motivational side. I'm a manager, not a coach, definitely.
Okay, so you're not the coach. Sorry, you're not the coach. You are the manager.
I'm the manager. Yeah.
So what do you mean by that? Then you're not doing tactics. You're just doing.
Yeah, no, definitely hands-on tactically. So definitely very hands-on tactically, very hands-on strategically wise. But I don't find the passion of being on the grass, and we've got some amazing coaches that work with us. Our assistant manager's a brilliant coach, and he'll run every session past us. But he celebrates a coaching session like I celebrate winning a football game. And actually, finding a win out of coaching is very different to finding a win out of management. Managing is, for me, I love the personal side of football.
Right, so you're kind of like the man management sort of thing.
Yeah, I love that part of it.
Okay, then, so is it kind of a similar setup? Did you ever watch how the Class of '92 own Salford?
Yeah.
And I think that at one point they had two managers or two coaches.
Joint managers,
yeah. So do you kind of have a setup where the other guy does the coaching and you're the
so I am a joint manager, so I am a joint manager, and the thing is...
Oh, so you do have a joint manager?
Yeah, joint manager. Right. My best friend's Watsy, and joint manager is hard, by the way, because you've got to find two people that are very strong, opinionated. To be a manager, you have to be very stubborn and strong, opinionated. So
you're the boss.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And there's only ever one boss. So, but we're very clear on what we do, and I focus on the man management side, the tactical side, the budget side, the data. I describe my role as the commercial side, but dealing with the players day in, day out, and his is very much on the coaching side. And we come from very different backgrounds. He played a very good pedigree of football, done a lot of kids coaching, whereas mine is, I love managing. Managing is very different to coaching.
So how for people that are sort of wondering, is there an example you could sort of be like, well, I'm the sort of non-league version of that, say in the Premier League or for a big club. Is there someone that does a similar role to you, where you're like, that's kind of what I do? Or
no, I don't think so, and I think that's what makes non-league so unique. Is that in non-league, every single club will run uniquely, and they make do. I manage Croydon, which is a part of South London that's not particularly affluent, and we have to make things work. Croydon Football Club doesn't have lots of money. We have to attract players in the right way, and I don't think I think every club is unique, and every scenario is unique, and I think that's the beauty now. And maybe we're going to talk about this, but that's the beauty of non-league. We're obviously in an area we've got Crystal Palace and Charlton and Mill. Like the amount of people now coming in through the door, even Bromley now, but even people coming in through the door to watch Croydon is crazy. Season tickets Crystal Palace now coming to watch Croydon because non-league is refreshing. There's no VAR, right? So decisions are wrong and they can be bad and they are wrong, and it's very real and very raw, and people feel connected to their football clubs. Like you walk into the bar and people treat you like Sir Alex Ferguson. I'm definitely not Sir Alex Ferguson, but that's what I felt day one. Croydon's a very unique club because Croydon people grew up supporting Croydon. Croydon is a big club. Like if you ask my dad, my dad's like, wow, Croydon's a massive. Like Croydon were bigger than Bromley back in the day.
Yeah,
they've gone bust about 25 times, so
yeah,
no one knows who they are anymore. But like you walk into that club, and there are people that are born Croydon fans.
Right,
they have Croydon shirts. Like they don't support Charlton or Palace or United. They support Croydon, and that's very unique to manage a club. I think at this level that has that support,
especially in London, because obviously you'll know full well, like living in London, there's so many teams in London. It's sort of there's so many clubs that you've never even heard of, because how can I explain? Like people get into the sort of debate about supporting your local team, this and that, but like in London it's a bit different. You could be from, say, Hackney, let's just say, and be an Arsenal fan or a Tottenham fan, and that's completely fine because it's in the same city. Whereas like a lot of these other clubs, say like Croydon or a small club like that, or even who's one with the really good like advertising and social media, Dulwich Hamlet.
Okay.
For example, they're just a club in South London that I used to play against when I was a kid, but now people from that area will support them. Do you know what I mean? It does go to show you how big sort of non-league can be.
Non-league's massive, and our league is particularly difficult to get out of. I mean, we've had the rebirth and the relaunch of Greenwich Borough, who were a big club in non-league many years ago. Financially, for us to try and compete, it's difficult. We've got SE Dons in our league now, which is...
you're in the same league as SE Dons?
SE Dons have beaten us in the playoffs the last 2 years.
Right, okay, so what exact... Okay, so obviously Premier League is the number one. What actual league are Croydon in?
We are, I guess, probably the 10th tier of English football.
10th tier of English football. Yeah. And I have spoken to people, and I've had friends that have say, oh, I'm playing for Croydon, or I'm doing this at Croydon. But I'm like, is it Croydon Athletic or is it Croydon?
We're not Croydon Athletic. Everyone
I get really confused.
Wilfried Zaha owns Croydon Athletic.
But was it once joined as the same club?
No, there were always different clubs. And Croydon FC was always the bigger club. We played in FA Cup. We played at Millwall. We played there many years ago. Croydon Athletic was a bit of a side piece, I guess, in the nicest way. But they come through. Stormzy is
but I thought they had I thought Stormzy and Zaha bought something else, and wasn't it like SE25 FC or something?
No. So they own Croydon Athletic. They've got a facility in Thornton Heath, which is great for the area, which is 5-a-side pitch, almost like a goal.
Oh, because I thought because you're a Palace fan, right?
I am.
Because sometimes I go to Palace games, and where Brit School is, there's like a sort of like goals thing. Is that the club that they own? Isn't it?
They're in Thornton Heath, so they've got a place in Thornton Heath.
Okay, right. Okay, because I live near Croydon, the one that you're at. It's at Croydon Arena, isn't it?
It is.
When I was at school, that's where we used to do like all our
sports. And you don't come down
and
watch us?
Well, I've been to games before. I haven't been for a while, but
I will know me for a long time.
I will definitely come next year because I have been to games there before. And Croydon Arena is a really good place to watch football because the thing is, because it's smaller and you can still hear the fans. Because I've never really been one for like loving a running track around the ground, but because it's a small ground and it's not like it's not far away.
No, but running tracks are difficult. But
I'm just going to turn the light on. Keep going.
Yeah, running tracks are difficult because when you play at them and they're not yours, teams will often slow the game down. So we've played at a lot of places where teams will slow the ball down against us because traditionally the last couple of years, obviously we've been a good side and competing in the playoffs. So teams will slow the ball down, but we know how to make it work at the arena. And I think everyone always say it's a really difficult place to come and play. You need to learn how to play that pitch, and we've done it enough, hopefully, to do that. And how many players are on the books? How does it kind of work? Because obviously at that level, there's a lot of turnover. People have real jobs. Yeah. I mean, commitment is really difficult. I always talk about this level of football being like a really unreasonable level of football. Like we
Yeah.
expect so much from people for so little. The top of our league is astonishing. The amount of money in the top of our league, genuinely. You know, we talk about players in our league. You know, some players in our league nearly £1,000 a week.
£1,000 a week
Yeah.
for playing 10th tier football.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we had it at Greenwich Borough this year. Like they will have a budget, which is a lot of that. I'm not here to talk about other teams' budgets, but then the bottom of the league will pay zero, and that's what makes this league amazing. Is that you literally go from zero, a bunch of kids playing, to last year Greenwich Borough signed a player called Joe Taylor who was playing Conference South. He was playing Conference South last year, and then this year, you know, he's gone from the 5th tier of English football to the 10th. You know, and the thing you find with players now coming down a level is they see an opportunity to earn money, because actually for good players to come down they have to get paid to do it. So they will, like, players like that will earn more money in the 10th tier of English football than anyone in the 5th, because it's the only way you get them there, right? Is to financially reward them to do so.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking at Croydon FC's like socials and their website.
Yeah.
So Sean Scannell's the director of football.
Sean Scannell is the director of football. Yeah.
What does Sean Scannell do at Croydon FC?
Well, Sean Scannell is a new director of football, so it's really interesting actually, because somebody said to me the other day, like, how do you feel about working with a director of football? Like, we've always had a director of football, so it's nothing new to us. But Sean is, we as a club need to get better within the local area. And I think Sean gives us that connection to the local area with his links to Crystal Palace, his links to South London. Like, you know, we play in the Southern Counties division, which is 90% Kent teams. It's Sheppey, it's Staplehurst, it's Snodland. It's all teams away from Croydon. So actually, like, we don't play teams around us. So we need to get better at having a closer link to the local area, but also our youth teams. You know, we need to become more attractive within the local area to compete, really. And Sean is a big part of that. And do you know what? Sean is
That's really good idea.
Such a grounded guy. Like, you know, he voice notes to me every other day. Can I help with this? Can I help with that? So, mate, the only way he can help.
It's good, because it means that he's passionate about it.
Yeah, but I want to start playing. Like, I don't want to be
I mean, he's still, what, 35, 36?
Like, you're no good in the stands to me.
Well,
like,
funnily enough, my brother, he was working in real estate for a couple of years, and he said that he played against him in a work tournament, and he was saying, and my brother played at a decent level, but he was just like, it was so unfair because he was just so much better than everyone else.
Well, Sean joined in training the other day, actually, in pre-season, not the running, but he did join in the football side. And look, Sean's got serious injuries, and I think it's hard for him to compete. But
he's had a long career.
Yeah. Look, I think if we need Sean, then hopefully Sean will be there with us.
Can I make a suggestion? Because I think you make a really good point about getting kids and getting fans. Can I make a suggestion? So I mean, obviously, I don't know how it all works, but when I was a kid, I remember, because all of my friends are Palace fans, and when I was young, because I went to school in South Norwood, that's where I grew up, and my school is like 5-minute walk from Selhurst Park. But when I was at school, nobody supported Palace. Only a few of my friends supported Palace. Now, kids that I've worked with or know in the area, obviously them being in the Premier League has obviously helped, but Palace has become more popular.
Of course, European champions, mate.
Exactly. But I remember when I was at school, Palace coaches, like youth coaches, they would say, oh, bring your kids to a trial and stuff like this, but they would also do things like tell parents to come down, and it would be kids for £1. I think if you get kids to come more often, things like that, and be like, oh, get a free ticket and come to the next one or whatever. I think something like that would be really good if you just got kids coming, because they might like it once, be like, oh, I'll go back.
It's so hard. I think you spoke about this point earlier, is that there's so much football in this area. So whether you're Croydon FC or Croydon Athletic or Whiteleaf or whoever you are within the local area, like, it's very difficult to get people in through the door. If it's free or if it's paid, like, it's a very difficult thing to do, and it just needs to be attractive. Like, I don't think nowadays it's necessarily like a financial thing. Like, obviously the price between going to Palace and going to Croydon is vastly different, but the big thing is becoming attractive on social media, doing the things that are now, important in modern day. My job is to manage a football team and try and make us attractive as we can on the pitch, but also we're at a level of football where it's not always that easy to do that.
You
need to play the standard, we need to play the pitches. Like, you go to Ladywell Arena at Lewisham on a Wednesday night, like, it's never going to be pretty, but you need to learn how to win there. And for us, it's about doing the right things from a marketing perspective to get people in. Yeah.
So how important do you think social media is to you guys in general?
I try to keep out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because for me, it's like I've got to focus on football, and we've done really well the last couple of years, and my job is to get us promoted. But I've just got to focus on football, But it's everything, isn't it? Of course it is. It's about becoming attractive. Like my job as a manager to attract players to the first team is me, or us, or the environment that we create. But getting people to the club is social media driven, is marketing driven. So
who handles all of that then?
We've got a really great committee. Like I said, I think we're really lucky. I was Thames Mead manager before that, and Elmstead assistant manager. And you're at these clubs that, in the nicest possible way, like just exist. They're not football clubs. Like their committee is 1 or 2 people that keep the club surviving. And football needs those people. But Croydon is a football club. Like it has got 200-300, not many, but loyal fans that support that club and that club alone. So we've got a great committee that work on all of that stuff. And again, I think Sean coming in has really attracted some younger support. We've got, I think, local colleges and
that's good.
Ashburton are on board and stuff like that to help us out, and Coulsdon College to come and help us out. And that's the direction we need to go in.
I kind of, but that is really good. But when I hear you talk about it, I kind of feel like you sound really like you'd be good. I know you don't have all the time in the world, but I feel like you'd be really good at sort of, how can I put it? Not being a director of football, but like sort of thinking of like a club's direction kind of thing. I know.
Maybe. Yeah. Look, outside of
like the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully that's a few years' time once I've won the Premier League or something like that. But I as I said to you before, like my passion in football isn't necessarily the coaching side of it. I love football. I love the game. And I think growing something, being part of something, outside of football, I run a few businesses and things like that, and that's that's what I do, and I'm passionate in doing those things. But right now I want nothing more than trying to get promoted first.
I was going to ask you that next. So do you have another job away from Croydon, or do you do this full time?
So I work in renewable energy, so in offshore wind. So
wow, that sounds complicated.
It's not complicated, and it's not exciting either. And everyone always says that to me. But no, so I've got a few businesses. We do we've got a training facility where we train people to go and work offshore. We've got a recruitment business. We've got a project-based business. We do a lot of different, not very exciting things that we can make sound exciting because it's in the middle of the sea. But it's not that glamorous, mate.
Okay, fair. Okay, so when does the season actually start for you guys?
So we start the 8th of August. So we were in the FA Vars first week of August.
And do you know who you're against?
No, we don't know. Last year we played Guernsey. So
so you took an away day to Guernsey.
So
that must have been mad.
Flew to Guernsey. We had a couple hundred fans come and support us.
Wow, that's
Guernsey,
impressive.
Which is amazing. It's a good trip. We had a couple of trips this year. Guernsey was one, Benidorm was the other, which is slightly less.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, there's no football in Benidorm, but it's an end of season.
What I was going to say, so what is actually like the maddest or furthest away day you've done?
Guernsey, Guernsey's far. I mean, look, we travel kind of all the way across. We go from kind of Tower Hamlets to Sheppey. So we go kind of all the way across one side of London, all the way out to deep dark Kent. And as Croydon, we kind of, I guess we sit in the middle, probably closer more to the London sides. But actually, a lot of our playing group, they come from Kent. So we're really lucky to get the players we get because we are Kent leagues. And to be able to attract the players we do, the Kent leagues are really strong. Like if you think about the the FA Trophy was won by, also the FA Vars was won by Whitstable, which was obviously a Kent side, and they were in the final against Whiteleaf. So
Whiteleaf made the final.
Yeah, they made the final. So
well, that guy that was the assistant at Chelsea, he managed Whiteleaf and Croydon, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Callum McFarlane. So there's hope for all of us.
Yeah, it's mad because I remember watching. I think the first time he took charge, I think when Maresca got sacked, they mentioned on the broadcast that this guy was the assistant at Croydon 5 years ago, and I was like, what?
He wasn't even the number one.
I know.
I could have
exactly, Chelsea. Because I was, and then when who was it in Rossini got the sack? They said on the broadcast when I think they played Brighton in the FA Cup, and they said, what was his name again?
Callum McFarlane.
Yeah, they was like, he was the assistant at Whiteleaf as well, and I was like, wow, so he did like all of these local clubs.
I've done the tour, it was Cray Valley, it was Whiteleaf, he'd been in and around these arenas, but look, somebody's very passionate about coaching, very passionate about coaching, and do you know what, mate, like the thing is with this level of football, and any level of football, it's like making the most of your opportunity and positioning yourself in the right place, and Callum ended up at Man City and then at Chelsea, so a very rich career from that sense, and he's somebody very passionate. What you find is actually this level of football is like there's not that many people that really want to achieve something out of football. Like I don't really want to achieve anything out of football. I love turning up on the Saturday. I love the boys. you know, if you said to me, do I want to manage 3 leagues high? Like, probably not. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask you next. I was
would
going to
allow
say,
me to do
do you
that.
not have like a, oh, in 5 years' time, I want to be here, 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 or is it just kind of, I just want to enjoy this and, you know, put everything I can into it?
No, I think it's like, you know, football's my life. Like,
Mm.
genuinely, football's my life, and it has to be. Like, you know, my friends' family would tell you that. Like, Croydon lose a football game, like they know about it. Like, don't talk. I overheard my mum talking to my nan the other day when we lost the game. She's like, they lost. Don't
Yeah.
talk to him. Basically, like that's what football means. Like, football means that to. I think if only if you're a football fan, you'll know that. When you go on football manager, it's even harder. But I don't have any ambition in football. Like my ambition is to win. I'm a very competitive person in work and outside of work and football and all those things. Like I've got an addiction to winning and slightly egotistical, probably in some sense, slightly narcissistic in another sense as well. But I love to win, and football gives you that buzz. And
Yeah.
you know, being with a group of people that you love, like you grow to love. I think the one big thing about football at this level is that there's not a load of loyalty. But I do try and, you know, we've got players now that played over 100 games for me. You know,
Wow.
70 games, 80 games, 100 games, and that's the main thing for me. Genuinely, like creating the environment that people want to turn up to and they want to be at, and that's genuinely like the biggest thing. Like everyone thinks I'm lying. Like I don't. You know, I want to manage as high as I can, but the moment I stop enjoying it, I won't.
Okay,
do it.
so for the time being, you do not have like, well, you know what, 5-10 years, I want to be here in the Premier League or in the Championship. No. It's not anything like
that. Is that ambitious and unglamorous? I'm sure this sounds for you to guess. Like I don't know.
I don't think that's unambitious though. I think you're just kind of saying, why put that pressure on myself? I enjoy it, and let's just keep going from there.
Football's a hobby, and look, like there's a lot more skilled people out there than I am, and there's a lot of people that spend probably a lot more time in football than I am. But you know, the one thing I would say is that what we create as a management team is really strong. We've got a great balance, and like I said, I love managing people, whether that's football, whether that's work, whether that's anything. Like I love working with people to make them better and get results. And football's a good example.
So you kind of put your two passions together.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I love to lead.
Do you watch any other sports?
Boxing, big boxing.
Oh, you like boxing?
Yeah, I'm a big boxing fan. I watch most sports, like most other sports fans do. But yeah, big boxing fan. Yeah, but cricket's and like it's on TV, I'll watch it.
Really? Okay. So who's like your favourite fighters to watch?
Bam Rodriguez.
Bam Rodriguez, yeah, he had a great knockout recently. Yeah,
I don't think anyone doesn't enjoy watching Bam. Yeah, I think he's obviously pretty amazing, but I do like a British underdog. I mean, my era boxing, like George Groves and people like that. You know, I love
Carl
Froch. Yeah. I don't like Froch anymore, but
oh really? Why? You don't like Carl Froch?
Like, it's a bit too much. Anymore.
Okay, yeah. He can be a bit. I know.
9,000 at Wembley. Like,
I kind of found that funny how he always mentioned it.
I found it funny at first, and after.
Because I actually saw a clip of him the other day where he was with what's his name, Dave Allen.
Yeah.
And they were talking about. So I can't remember who they were talking about. I think they were talking about Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
And he was like, he said it as a joke. Well, I sold out 90,000. It always makes me laugh every time he says it.
It does. Ricky Hatton,
Oh man, what a legend! Yeah.
David Hay, like
David Hay. Yeah.
David Hay was probably Ricky Hatton was probably just before my time. Like I remember the back end of Ricky Hatton.
Oh yeah, I remember the fights with Floyd.
Yeah. But you know, when kind of becoming world champion, I don't really remember that.
And stuff.
I don't really remember that, but
I was a bit young as well. I was probably at 6 or 7.
I remember David Hay becoming heavyweight champion of the world when he beat Value Evans. You know, broke his hand punching the guy's face. Like I remember that vividly. And David Hay's probably as much as people loathe him, and
I think he's great.
I love him to pieces.
He's so outspoken as well. Like, and I don't think he means to be. He's just being honest. He's no nonsense. I like him.
Look, these guys get punched in the head for a living, so they're never going to talk normally, and we should accept that and embrace it. And actually, like, sport needs that. Like, I remember that roar the other day on TV, like about a guy swearing at a tennis game. It's like, I mean, he was an idiot about it, but like, sport needs characters. Like, characters are so important.
It gets boring because I sometimes think even in football, sometimes
they're robots, man. You watch
there's so many.
Harry Kane do an interview. I could tell you what he's going to say before he's answered the question.
Yeah,
it's great for the team and this, that, and the other. American football's slightly different because they're like characters. I mean, I don't like the sport, but they've got characters. Whereas football is like everyone's media trained.
Yeah, I think you're right because do you know what it is? There's so much money in football. These clubs sort of say to them, "Do not."
Well, you're just media trained.
They're media trained.
From 16 years old, you're told like. Someone says like, "How do you think you played today?" Like, we just say the team did really well. Like, you know, it's like.
So they can't say, "Oh well, I was shit. This was bad."
Well, that's why I quite like Elise. Then everyone hates Elise because he doesn't say anything. But
and the thing is, I don't think. I mean, I can get why sometimes people get annoyed at him, but he's just. I don't think he would
That
rather.
is him, by the way.
That is him,
Like,
yeah.
That is him.
My,
always been like
my brother played with him at youth level, and I remember my dad saying to me when he was like 12, he said, "This is the best football I've ever seen in my life." But I don't think he, you know, there are guys like that. He's not trying to be a character.
No.
He would rather not do interviews.
He's genuinely authentic.
Yeah.
Genuinely authentic, and I think that like that gets mistaken, and like that's today's
Has arrogance and stuff.
Yeah, we're screwed. Like everyone scrutinises everything.
It's funny though, because I feel like in England, in this country, in Britain, sometimes we tear down people who are a bit confident and got a bit of character. Like even the Luke Littler thing.
Yeah.
I thought, like, obviously I get it. People are booing him because everyone's going on. Oh, they're getting sick of him winning all the time. But it's just like, well, he's giving it back to them. Like, and he should be able to do it.
The thing is with all of us, like, we're also cynical because I pick and choose. Like, I'm like, Elise's fine, but like Littler pisses me off.
Yeah.
But
that's fine though.
But there's no reason or like it's just the way you feel. Like, and we're humans, right? Like we've all got emotion and we feel a certain way, not for any reason. Like, you know, like I said, Elise does it. Oh, I love Elise, and Luke Littler does it.
Yeah. It's weird.
There's no real reason, like or rhyme, but
I get it. It's like, for example, I can't stand F1. I don't like it at all. I don't like the characters. I just find them boring.
Well, I loved the Lewis Hamiltons the other day saying there shouldn't be billionaires in the world, and he's obviously with
Kim Kardashian. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Like the wealthiest sportsman.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't hate anyone. I'm not a lover of Lewis Hamilton. I don't hate. He's an amazing driver, obviously, even though I don't watch F1. He's done great things, and he's an underdog at the start. But I'm just not really a fan of his character. But for example, I don't even watch F1. My dad loves it. He loves Hamilton and all that. But you know that I can't stand that guy that goes on and interviews the people.
Martin Brundle.
I just can't stand him. I've never liked him. And it's like, you know, I saw a clip where the other day where he's interviewing, he goes up to Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
And she's just like, well, she doesn't know who he is.
No.
And he's just so smart. I just can't stand him. But like,
you know, I felt sorry for her, but I also feel like you've got this much money, like surely you get been advised better. Like surely somebody here can advise you slightly better. Like
Hamilton. I mean, you're surprised he didn't say anything.
Well, he just says love or babe, or whatever he calls her. So someone's going to come up to you and ask you some questions. Just smile and pretend you know what you're talking about. Like just say one word. Like to be honest with you, I don't think either of them came off brilliantly. Like I think that's the honest truth. Like,
do you know, you're probably right.
He probably pushed too far, but again, like.
She had no idea.
No, but you know, and actually, like, I'm not saying anything like there'd be a lot of people that would kill to be in a position she was on a grid. Or like, you know, does she really want to be there?
She
as
probably doesn't.
I mean, so like, to be honest with you, mate, like it's today's TV and it's today's world. Like, that's why we love non-league football, mate.
That is true. That is so true.
No Martin Brundle at my game.
That is true. So you are a fan of F1 then?
I watch F1 because as I'm peeling the carrots on a Sunday, it's the thing that's on.
That's on, yeah.
Like I would never go out my way to watch it, but I watch every sport. I genuinely watch every sport.
You watch every sport?
Cricket, any English sport.
Do you watch UFC?
No.
You don't? Okay.
Not a UFC fan.
I love UFC. All right.
I'm going to upset you there.
No, it's cool. Most people don't. They think it's like barbaric.
No, do you know the one thing is, I don't like the fact you can punch someone on the floor. I don't like that. If someone's laying on the floor, like you let them get up and you carry on fighting. I don't like the fact you can literally pummel someone in the face whilst they're laying on the floor. Like,
I get that.
I do find that a weird thing, but like
you can't kick them when they're on the floor.
No, but punching
you can kick them in the stomach, but not on the head.
Punching someone in the head while they're laying.
Thing is though, like, but that kind of.
But I respect it. I'm not saying.
Oh yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it.
I just find it like, you know, get your hands up.
My counter argument would be that. Well, two counter arguments would be if you was having a fight with a guy in the street.
Of course, I would jump all over him.
Exactly. So it's like I think it's the realist thing to fighting. And two, if you do get someone in that position and you're pummeling them, the ref will obviously stop it pretty quick.
No, of course. Of course. I think it's the concept.
Yeah, I get it. Because I mean, for a lot of people, they understand boxing. Do you know what I mean? It's just two guys trying to punch each other.
Yeah, but boxing's crap now as well. Like,
no, I think boxing's great.
Yeah, but it's full of like this trash or like celebrities.
You don't like the influencer stuff.
Well, it's not even celebrities, are they? Like, I think a celebrity is someone that has a talent.
Yeah.
They just got the loudest voice. Like, Misfits, whatever it is, like that is.
Well, I find
really embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, I find the influencer boxing just a different thing. It's like a fun thing. So, for example, I'm not
too much crossover because I agree with you. What I would say is that if they were completely separate, like they're different sports, and treat them as different sports. Like one's boxing with talented people that have given up everything and dragged out of.
Had the amateur fights.
But the thing about boxing is that genuinely, like probably more than any other sport, it brings out every class of person. It doesn't discriminate. There's not many sports that, you know, football maybe, but it doesn't discriminate one bit. Boxing, like you could be from the slums and be champion of the world. Like you can be nothing.
That's true.
That's what I love about it.
That is very true.
And I think like they're like we should give platform to those people and put them on a pedestal of like, you committed your life.
Yeah.
Like, you've committed your life to a sport. There's no other sport where you have to commit to getting, well, UFC, I guess. But
Yeah.
like, there's no other sport you commit to like that. Like to get.
You're putting your health on the line as well. Yeah.
Your health on the line. Like just you. You're not in the team. There's no hiding. You're a bad performance. Like your career's over.
Yeah.
Like you're a bad football game. Like you go to Tuesday night and it's forgotten.
Yeah, you do it again.
You get knocked out in boxing. Like your career's done.
That is a very good point.
And I think
very good point.
that's what I suppose upsets me. But it's like, you know, I look at Tommy Fury. Like you've got all this boxing ability and you're fighting like
Eddie Hall.
Yeah. What? A
strong man. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. My retort.
I agree. Keep them separate.
I agree, but my retort would be
the lines are blurred.
I get that. That is true because you got like, you know, retired UFC fighters who were world champions fighting Jake Paul getting knocked out. It's like
who fought Usyk though with that?
Rico Verhoeven.
Like who did amazingly well.
I mean, I don't know how much you know about kickboxing, but in my opinion, he's the greatest kickboxer that's ever lived.
Of course he is.
And I think he got robbed that night. I think he beat Usyk.
Of course he did. But I think like, think about boxers have picked their sport, and maybe he's a bad example. Boxers pick their sport all day, like
Jake Paul, for example.
Yeah, but there's more worthy people, in my opinion, to go like you pick the sport, you go with it, you fight, and like there's things that excite me about crossovers, but like there's also things that aren't. Like sports are sports. We should celebrate every sport for what they are.
I get that.
And by the way, he deserves to win.
Oh, he deserves a terrible stoppage. Terrible stoppage. Yeah. But, and if you look at the scorecards as well, they were horrific. Horrific.
But that's why boxing's finished. Because
I don't know. I think boxing. I don't think boxing's finished.
The scorecards.
The scorecards were not good.
You can lose. You can lose by 5 rounds, and if you're the home fighter, you win. Like it's finished, mate.
It does because
corruption and politics.
People will look at that and think it's fixed or corrupted, and it's hard sometimes to argue it. Even though I don't think it is, but it's sometimes hard to argue.
Dave Allen against Johnny Fisher. And I think Johnny Fisher had won and been beaten up for like 10 rounds.
And they gave it a draw, didn't they?
I think they gave it a draw. It's just like, guys, come on, like at some point, he's lost every round. He's lost every, like there is no way in anything.
Same with the Fury. When Fury fought Ngannou, I thought Fury clearly lost that fight. And he got dropped. And I was just like, that's one of the worst decisions I've ever seen. And I love Tyson Fury, is one of my favourite boxers ever. But I was like, that was crazy. But what I was going to say, we're going to get back to non-league and stuff, but what I was going to say about, you know, keeping it separate, I look at that, for example, you know, there's this thing called Baller League on Sky. Something I would never watch. It's got influences, but it's a fun, gimmicky thing. But you know that it's different to watching the Premier League or the Championship or whatever.
Things like that,
I think it's just, I don't look at them as the same thing. I think just let them enjoy it.
I also think those things have lifespans. Like boxing will always be boxing. I don't think in 10 years' time we'll be watching Misfits. I don't.
You don't think so?
No, because like people will get bored.
I think he's getting bigger though. Like,
but
could you imagine when that first fight? I think it was KSI versus like Joe Weller. We're watching now. Last year on Netflix, 40 million people was watching Anthony Joshua knock out Jake Paul. Like, that, if you said that to me 3 years ago, I literally just thought, what the hell?
Bored of it.
Do you think?
Of course they will. Do you want to watch a guy from YouTube fighting another guy from YouTube? And like, like maybe now, but like, that will get boring. Whereas I think the art of sports doesn't get boring.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather watch the best fight. I'd rather watch Canelo fight.
But boxing will never get boring. Football will never get boring. Like all league, like you said, it's not gimmicky, but like all of these things have.
It's just like influencery.
But do you think in 50 years' time there's will be Ball League? Like, I genuinely don't.
Probably not. No,
there might be something different that's very similar, but like the Premier League's not going anywhere. Like top level professional sports will go nowhere.
People will want to see the best play against the best.
And like new, fresh individual stuff is great, and they should ride the wave. By the way, like I've never criticised people for riding the wave from a business sense. Like,
I agree.
Milk it, enjoy it, make the most of it. But like at some point, I'm going to get bored of watching Jake Paul trash talking something and think, like, I don't know this guy. How many times more times going
that is true.
I'm genuinely not interested anymore.
Okay, so World Cup. You're an England fan, I'm assuming.
Of course.
How do you think England are going to do at this World Cup?
I've never been less interested in England than I have now.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It's controversial, isn't it?
I'm surprised.
I just like. I don't watch the Premier League anymore.
Okay.
I don't watch the Premier League anymore. Definitely don't watch the Champions League anymore. Like VAR has completely ruined football. There's no authenticity in football at all. Like the game that I loved is no longer the game that I fell in love with. Like I hate football, genuinely. Like I love non-league football. Like I'm completely converted. Crystal Palace season ticket my whole life. I still go and watch them when we're not playing on Saturday at Croydon. But football's so like, we've got pretend hydration breaks because they want to run commercials in America. Like pathetic. Like what is our sport becoming? You know, VAR, where you know your whisker of your moustache could be offside and you're offside, and then the next game it's not. Like football's becoming a pantomime, and I think the hard thing with the World Cup is one is in America, which makes life difficult because I think the timings. I think not having an English manager is really difficult as well. I genuinely think that's a thing. Like no foreign managers ever won a World Cup. It's fact. No foreign managers ever won a World Cup.
Wow.
So no foreign manager any team's ever won a World Cup. I think it's a thing.
That's a crazy stat.
It's a crazy stat.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like there's and I get it. And I think when Tuchel got appointed the England manager, I fell out of love with England because I think we completely lost track of what we're doing. And not because he's German, he could be from any country in the world. I don't care about that. The point is that when Spain lost their manager, Enrique, they hired the under-21s manager who'd had great success. They hired him through and then they won the Euros. Like we've got Lee Carsley sat there who's won under-20s, under-21s, gets overshadowed for the England job because he's not ready. Yet he's been through the system. So we spend billions of pounds to open St George's Park, bring all these youth players through. Yeah, they've got to play, bring them. Like, why is the same not apply to the manager? Like, the same should apply to the manager. I think England appointing Thomas Tuchel, I hate it. I hate what it stands for. And look, we might go win the World Cup, we might not. Like, I'm not panicking over England drawing a game, but I just don't like it. I think you bring players for a system, you bring managers for a system as well. Like we've overshadowed Lee Carsley, who the media didn't like because he had a couple of shirky press conferences. But you know, if that was Thomas Tuchel, everyone's like, oh, you know, how great's Thomas Tuchel because he's shirky with the press. Like our agendas get in the way, and I just like I feel really disconnected with England. Like, I don't like. Do you feel World Cup fever like you did probably 6 years?
I can't lie, I still do. I mean, I always get really excited.
But you like, yeah, of course. And you know what? Like, I love England, of course I do. I'm an England fan, and for me, it's like I say a lot of things because I want the effect of what they get, and I want to try and feel that way. But I love England. I watched us against Croatia, and I was like, oh my god, like England are back.
Yeah,
like, I loved it. Then I watched this the other night, and it's just like, I don't know, like.
But it takes two to tango. I think that Ghana game, and we always draw at least one game 0-0, no matter what tournament.
Do you know
always
what?
Get that.
It was tactically so bad.
Do you think so? I think Ghana, not blaming Ghana, but they didn't leave their box. So it's like,
of course. So
it was 2 banks of 4. But it's hard, like from coaching, like it's hard.
The right players. You got Jordan Henderson there, who.
But he didn't play in that game.
So why take him?
But you've got
no centre mid that can break a line, not one.
Okay.
Name me one centre midfielder that can.
So who would you have picked? Who would you have picked?
Fact.
What? Okay. I'll give you the Wharton.
Lewis Hall. So you played a right-footed left back.
Jed Spence. Yeah.
Okay. So when you play against a block,
you
need to create width. So when you have opposite feet, you naturally come inside.
You do, yeah.
Right? So that's fine. So if you do that with your wingers, that's fine. But what it must mean is that your fullbacks then create your width. But Reece James, who rolls in and wants to play centre mid, fine. Reece James passed the halfway line twice in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I like Reece James. Can't cross a football. Like our tactic was to cross footballs, and we got right that can't cross footballs.
You think we should have picked Trent?
Trent sat at home. Like you want a right back to roll in. Pick a proper right back that rolls in, which is Trent. You've got a right-footed left back. So Gordon's gone in, Spencer's gone in, and everyone talks about this clip where Tuchel, everyone's like, I love Tuchel because he's shouting at Spencer, getting him on the outside. Like that's his own fault because he's not picked a left-footed. Like Lewis always sat there thinking.
Well, to be fair, I agree. I mean, I did find it a bit odd, but we should have. But we did bring O'Reilly, whether you want Hall or O'Reilly.
O'Reilly rolls in. So pick somebody that does something different. Like for me,
listen, I wanted Hall to go, but
for me, squad's about variation.
Yeah.
And actually, like what I respect about Tuchel is he's picked a squad for the latter stages, 1,000%. He's picked. If we played against Brazil, who come at us, we look electric because we're in behind, we're aggressive, we're Liverpool of Klopp era, we're Chelsea of Tuchel era. We're direct, we're big, we're strong. Like we're not keeping the ball, we're getting behind, but. How naive can we be to think that teams aren't going to sit in a block against us?
That is true, but I would also argue that listen, you can't look great every game, and two is like you said, later on in the tournament when we're playing better teams, we are going to. But we will because the thing is like, listen,
against Ecuador, we're going to play Ecuador now.
I think we could beat Ecuador. Come on, like
they're
Germany.
Going to sit off us.
But the thing is, Ecuador will go for it because if you look at Ecuador, if you look at all of those games that they had, I watched their 3 games. They played Ivory Coast. They went shootout for shootout. They're level equal teams. But then they played the second game was against they played Germany, and obviously I knew they had to win, so it was a bit different. But they went, they went
out. If you're their manager now, would you not just say giving them the ball?
Yeah, maybe.
You got 2 wingers either side that can't cross the ball. It took to 80 minutes to put a left footer to left wing.
Yeah.
And what's the first thing he did? Cross the ball into the box. Saka probably should have bet with a header.
Yeah.
He finally put the ball in the box. I just felt, and look, like, I totally agree with you. Like, we definitely shouldn't panic about England. Like,
No.
You haven't got to look good in the group stage. You've got to get through.
I mean, look at Spain. They drew with bloody Cabo Verde.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and bear in mind, Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia last time they won the World Cup.
And even Brazil, they drew with. I know Morocco are a good team, but
I just felt and I felt this in the first game when I saw Rice get injured. I thought, you've seen Rice get injured. You put Reece James to centre mid. You still don't trust Jordan Henderson. So, what he's there to do? Card trick, juggle, great bloke, don't care.
Yeah.
Pick your best players.
But I think
Dan Burns not going to play minutes.
With the squad,
pick your best players.
With the England squad, I was actually pretty happy with the squad. The only player that I think should have definitely been there, because we can nitpick about Palmer and Trent and this and that, but I disagree, even though I love Palmer. But the player that should have been there, and he was the best English player in the Premier League, was Morgan Gibbs-White.
I agree with Gibbs-White.
Because firstly, no English player had scored more goals, and that includes players like Watkins and, I can't remember who else scored a lot of goals for England that year, but, like strikers. But he's very different. Like, he can play anywhere in midfield. And you got to think, Morgan Gibbs-White last season for a struggling Nottingham Forest team put up crazy numbers, and I just think he can unlock that sort of. I feel like that game he would have done very well.
I think I would have started Eze. I would have started Eze in that game because he can carry the ball.
That is true. That's it. I forgot about Eze was even in the squad.
The biggest thing is about that game that frustrated me is like, you go into a game knowing what the other team's going to do, and we started 2 holding midfielders. We probably didn't need to start 2 holding midfielders. Like,
in hindsight,
we don't need. I love Anderson. Anderson is brilliant, but Anderson to City is such an interesting transfer.
I was literally about to ask you about that because I think that's way too much money.
But like, what's Anderson's attributes? Right, for me, Anderson's attributes: he gets around the pitch, he harries, he presses. Like against Croatia, he was spectacular. Pressing at fullbacks, both sides, left back, right back, pressing there, being aggressive. Like now, England are on the ball. Like, and actually, like I love this thing. Everyone goes, yeah, Anderson breaks lines. Like, look at the stats. So I looked at the stats of the day. Top 10 players in the Premier League to break a line. Anderson wasn't in it. My mum was Adam Wharton, by the way. I'm always Adam Wharton.
Yeah,
me too. My mum was Adam Wharton.
I love Wharton too.
20% of his passes completed were all forward. Great stat. Top in the Premier League. Declan Rice probably about 950th because his manager doesn't let him pass forward. So that's fine. Anderson, yes, has he got the ability to do so? And actually, he did do it in the goal against Croatia, where he goes bang, first time ball into there, over the top, turns around, Jude Bellingham scores a goal. Great, but like, you can't do that in a block. Because they're not high enough for you to do that. So if you do that, you hit it short or it's going out for a goal kick. So you need someone that's going to go, I see Harry Kane in that corner there. I'm just going to take a risk. Just going to take a risk and punt it in. But I like, of course I love England, but I just feel some cracks coming in.
I get it. Because it's so hard because I look at that squad and I think we did pick a very good squad. I would have picked Morgan Gibbs-White, and maybe you're right. Maybe Henderson shouldn't be there and 1 or 2 other players shouldn't be there. But I still think, when you look at the players that we've got, they should be good enough to. You can't win every game, but they should still be able to. They're good enough players to work things out. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think the starting 11 is very good.
You don't think so?
Do you think? So put it this way: how many of that starting 11 would start for Spain? Gordon, no. Madueke, no.
Oh, Madueke. That's another one.
No.
Like, well, to be honest, I like. But this is what I was saying to someone the other day.
Spencer left back.
Okay, but this is what I was saying.
Spencer left back. What do you start with Spain?
No, I can't remember who Spain's left back is.
Doesn't matter.
But but this is what I was going to say the other day. Like, when you look at, say, France, for example, always have the best squad. They don't always win the tournament, but they always have. Yep. Since 2016, pretty much. Yep. When they got to the final with Portugal, they've always had the best team. Always, they got when they had like Pogba, Kante, they had Griezmann, Giroud. They will always have stacked in every position. But now I look at football. If you compare it to like the early 2010s, when Spain was just so much better than everyone. I mean, and even their national teams, their club teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid were so much better than everyone.
Their bench was better than everyone else.
Exactly. Whereas now I feel like there's
turn around David Villa's walking on.
David Silva, Juan Mata, Cazorla, just walking off the bench, and even a guy like Pedro had like over 80 caps for Spain. But what I was going to say is, I don't look at, same with club football and especially international football, I don't think there's a team where you're like, wow, they're so much better than everyone else. That's why I think it kind of doesn't really matter, because on paper, France have the best team, right? But doesn't mean
I don't think tactically they're great. So
I know, because they're so talented. It kind of doesn't
but
matter.
I don't think like that. What is their tactic is like.
But they're quite conservative sometimes.
Of course,
The players are quite good.
Let's hope Elise and
Mbappe
do something special. Like that is their tactic.
So their last Euros, they were pretty defensive.
But bear in mind, this is the thing about international management. Right? International management is like you get 2 weeks with a team. So it's about getting a team to work. Like you get pre-season in football is 6, 7, 8 weeks. You work with them every week, week in, week out. Like imagine Pep Guardiola in international football. Like what does he do? Like he couldn't just get an England team and go, right, we now have 90% possession, we keep the ball, we do this, we do that. Like, and that's why Gareth Southgate did so well with England. Like Gareth Southgate, with all this criticism, he couldn't manage a Premier League team.
No.
But he did amazingly well with an England team because what he got right is that he got the balance of the team correct. And
That's true.
He got the collective. Like what you need to get right. And international, look at England, right? 2006, I was watching a documentary on BBC the other day. Like that's the best team in the world.
Another foreign manager.
Team, yeah, but that team was a joke. Like
I don't.
Come on.
Okay, but it wasn't a team. That's my.
Of course, it's not, and that's the point.
But
like, you'll never get things right.
Yeah.
And I know what you're about to say.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Tuchel's done this, that, and the other, and it's just that balance of like where it swings because Declan Rice. And I know what you're about to say. Like, yeah, he picked the best 11, 16 players, and it didn't get it right. And actually, now Tuchel's not picking players; he's picking players based on getting that team right. But then also, it's like we've shot ourselves in the foot because Declan Rice got injured, and he still wouldn't bring on Jordan Henderson. Like. That is wild. You put Reece James right back, who was blowing out his arse because he's not fit enough. So you then go and play centre mid. You then had Jude Bellingham. We had a double pivot of Jude Bellingham and Anderson, who've never played there before in life. Like it's that balance. I just don't think that balance is quite right. But
yeah, because what I was going to say,
love to be proven wrong.
You're right, but what I was going to say about people talk about the golden generation, and what really annoys me is because you're right, they were the world-class players in every position apart from goalkeeper, essentially. But
Paul Robinson, you're not having him.
No, he was good Premier League goalkeeper. But for example, look at some of the other great goalkeepers at the time, like say Petr Cech, Pepe Reina, Casillas, Valdez.
Yeah.
But if you look at what the balance, two things. What really annoys me when you hear about these golden generations, they're doing punditry now. Whether it's Gerrard, whether it's Lampard, whether it's Terry or whatever, they're going on saying, "Oh well, we didn't like each other." The Spain team didn't like each other. Yeah. They were kicking lumps out of each other in El Clasico every week, but they made it work. What, for me, I think it was more tactical. Look at a guy like Michael Carrick.
Yeah.
Wasn't used. Like, imagine if he would have been perfect. I think if you played him and a few other players like Gerrard, Lampard, and worked something out, and we always got the selection wrong. Like that's why the squads that we look now, I don't complain, because if you look at the 2010 World Cup, we didn't have one player under 23.
Yeah.
And if you remember that season, 2010, when Chelsea, they were amazing when they had Ancelotti's team with like Ballack and Lampard and stuff. But Theo Walcott was amazing that year at Arsenal, amazing, and he was still only 19 or 20. Didn't go to the World Cup, and I'm thinking we're crying out for players like that.
You're walking a tightrope with international football of picking your best players and then picking a squad that works. But how can you create a squad that? And like I said, like I think Gareth Southgate is so harshly treated by so many people because should we have won something during his reign? Like most definitely, like it's not even.
Especially that 2021 one at home because we were winning.
The one against Italy was poor.
Italy were an old team,
and we were the best team in the tournament. Whereas I think actually the last one where we lost to Spain, like we got through it. Like
it was a bit of a slog,
ugly and horrible, and lose to Slovakia. Whereas I agree, but what he made us all realise about international football is like it's not about picking your best 11. It's about picking a squad that works together. But I actually think Tuchel's squad's gone too far the other way.
Really?
Actually, sometimes we've forgotten about like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Dan Burn's a great bloke. I'm sure he is. Like, he's not good enough to play for England. Like, who do you like? I looked at both games that England have played. Lewis Hall would have played in both games because the first game O'Reilly was rolling inside. It wasn't working.
He was good though. I think he had a good game.
Yeah, he's fine. But as somebody had to change your full. Well, what proved that is that Spence came on at right back and completely showed you with straight line running. It's just about variation. Squads are about variation. When you're not Spain, who are from 4 years old, come up playing the same way, all on the same sheet, know each other plays. Like England is a mismatch of international managers at clubs where tactically so different. Some are in a block, some are in a high press, some are in a mid block. Like it's so different. Spanish football is Spanish. Spanish football across the top league is pretty similar. Like in England, like because of the international influence, it's so different. So I feel like this squad is one dimensional.
Okay,
but let's see. Like I hope
we'll have to wait and see. that's really interesting what you said earlier about the England manager being English.
Yeah.
And I agree to an extent, but if you look at it, the English managers, because people go, oh, is there enough opportunity?
Yeah.
Is there enough, chances for English coaches and managers? But sometimes I think maybe, but then also, if you look at the Premier League, no Englishman's ever won it, but there have been 3 Scotsmen that have won it.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of makes me think, are we not good enough, or is there not enough opportunities?
Yeah. So Spain's manager that won the Euros last year managed how many La Liga games?
I've no idea.
0.
Yeah.
So, what I don't think, and I think Southgate's the prime example of the direction we need to go in, is that it's like Southgate was a terrible Premier League manager, but got them like Fabio Capello had won the Champions League, he'd won the Liga, managed England, and was a disgrace.
Yeah.
Sven-Göran Eriksson, one of the biggest name managers in the world, like a disgrace. Like you don't need to be like. For me, international football is not tactical. It's not a tactical.
It's more man
game.
management, isn't it?
It's man management. It's building a group in 2 weeks. Get these to like each other.
Yeah.
To work to each other. To find the balance. To find the things that works. And we haven't had that in England forever. Like and I think
we nearly had it with Southgate. Nearly, yeah.
But for me, that shows you now to go we've completely flipped direction of what we're doing, and it's a gamble. And look, do you know what? Like we've probably got the players now to gamble. Like you're going to make or break it, and it is what it is. Like we've got nothing to lose. We can't keep losing in finals, right? We can't keep.
We need to get over that final.
Can't keep losing in finals. We might as well gamble on something.
Who would you have liked to have gotten after Southgate had left? Because I think Lee Carsley, yeah. Was there any other option? Because I think that he kind of didn't want the job. I feel like he wanted to stay at under 21s. No, that's the impression I got anyway. And
and I think from his interviews, like he definitely felt the pressure. But also it's like we need to look at ourselves and what we do as English press. Like honestly, like look at Spain as the example. Like I know appreciate we maybe don't have the players, but that's what we do. We do have the players. We put some. Our squad probably man for man is better than Spain. Genuinely,
I agree. I don't disagree with you.
At peak,
yeah.
And Enrique went, and they just went, "Who's the under 21s gaffer? Yeah, he'll do the job," because they believed in their system and their environment and what it created. Where I just feel like we try and run England like a club all of the time, and it's just not. It's just not. It's not club football. Like, and I'd like I don't think like people go, yeah, you're right. Like we've got no English manager that won anything. We're like, why don't you won anything? Like Scaloni won the World Cup with Argentina. Like, what's he ever won as a manager?
You're right.
Nothing.
You're right. Yeah.
But nothing. And so you think the last 2 major tournaments are won by managers that never won anything in competition football at all? Like, we brushed that aside quite a lot. Like, why do you need to be a top manager? Like, you need to be a top man manager. You don't need to be a good coach. Like, you got to what can you coach in a week?
Yeah, you can't.
Best coach in the world. I can't turn England into Man City. You can be Pep Guardiola, turn England into Man City. Of course you can't.
You're right.
Different squad every week. Every time you meet up, 3 times a year, and you've got a major tournament every 2 years.
Yeah, you can't. You're right. You're 100% right, because with international football, it's not like a day-to-day where Pep Guardiola can change how Man City are going to play over 5 years.
Tweaking, fine-tuning all the time. You don't do it.
You can't do it.
Basic information. How do we play? How are we going to press? What we're doing to keep it gets the ball? What we're doing in transition? What we're doing, like really basic level football stuff. Like that's what you got. What can you do in 2 weeks? You
can't change much. It's more like you said, the morale kind of thing. Because I think, the environment. Because if you look at some of the disastrous tournaments that we had, so 2010, for example, aging squad, no young players, went out. I know that Lampard goal, with against Germany.
Yeah, but it would have covered the cracks, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then 2016 when we lose to Iceland, it's kind of like, I think we did pick the best squad available. We had an English manager. Yeah. But it didn't work. It just didn't work, did it? Do you know what I mean? It was just, I don't know what it was.
Of course, but that's where Southgate stripped it back.
He did.
And Southgate set the platform. Like, do you know the one thing I loved? Like, I look back all the time when we played in Russia, and we made the semi-finals, and Jordan Henderson decided to let Croatia win because he played like.
I think that's harsh.
Oh, man.
I think Southgate, mate, for example, that game was crying out for Jamie Vardy. You bring him on with 7 minutes left. Come on.
Jordan Henderson.
He did have Henderson had a bad game.
The single worst game of football I've ever seen.
He had a bad game. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I watched it back the other day. I just watched.
People always post that clip on Twitter. Yeah.
Have you seen the Dele Alli one? I'll find it for you. The Dele
Alli
Alli one. So every time Henderson gets the ball, Dele Alli goes, set me.
Oh no, I had. Yeah.
I've never seen it before. He's like, set me, and he smashed it over top, and he goes, and rolls his eyes.
Yeah.
Throws back like that, and like. I haven't watched that game back, but I've now remembered what had happened.
And we were winning. Remember, Trippier scored the free kick.
We were flying, but again, like we had, like at that time, like that England team weren't superstars. We had Danny Rose left back. We had Kieran Trippier right back.
Actually, I think Trippier was left back,
Mate,
and then Walker was right back.
Fine,
Yeah.
But
Well, he was. They played both of them. I think we played a back 3 and a 5 or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
in the tournament that Rose had played, and like
Maguire,
but Maguire was like this little.
That was his breakout. It was his breakout.
Dyer, like we weren't.
He scored the free penalty against Colombia.
But like we're a much better side now than we were then.
Yeah, when you actually look at it,
how did that 11 we get into our 11 now?
Apart from Kane, obviously.
Kane's still hanging about.
Prime Dele Alli was very good.
Gets in as well, by the way.
Yeah, Prime Dele Alli was very good.
Yeah.
Who else?
Walker gets in.
Yeah, who else was in that team? I mean, Pickford was still there. Stones is still there.
Pickford was at Sunderland, I think, at the time. Like.
Yeah, so he had, that was, no, because Sunderland got relegated in 2017. Everton signed him in 2017, so he'd just been at Everton for a year.
But like, at that point, we were like, this kind of...
No one expected anything.
I remember Ashley Young playing. I think
he had a very good tournament. Yeah, he played left wing back a lot of games.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it was like, I think, you're right. Like Trippier right wing back.
I mean, I think we had Rashford off the bench still.
Sterling was probably big.
Sterling was very good. That was prime Sterling.
But again, it's like we weren't tactically brilliant. We were resolute. Like we were 3-5-2. We knew exactly what we were doing. Like
compact.
You can't, international football is like, and that's why I always talk about like you don't need to be the best manager or the tactician or best coach. Like you can't do anything in 2 weeks.
It's the man management. I could talk to you about football all day, but before we go, so you're obviously involved with Croydon Football Club. Why should people come and watch you this season, and what is so great about non-league football?
Look, like as I've said already, I think if people are watching the Premier League and enjoying VAR, I'll be very surprised. Like it is killing football. I think the money around football now, the characters, Chelsea as an example, they've been through 5 managers. Like football is like a pantomime now. And I think when you watch non-league football, you get it. And until you watch it, you'll never really understand it. But the authenticity of it, like I couldn't quite like. Somebody said to me, the secretary said to me, when I joined Croydon, I'd been at Thamesmead where we get about 20 people. I thought, well, it's nothing. You go to Croydon, there's 300-400 people, and she went just before you go, like if we go in the bar, like people are going to talk to you like you're Alex Ferguson. I was like, what? You walk in and everyone's like, how are you, mate? Can I buy you a beer? Like, what do you think about this? This player was good, that player. Like, you're literally like God. And I think being involved in a level of football at a club that means something to people, you realise actually what made football special in the first place. Like, football's completely lost touch of what it was, with money and the Premier League. And it's all brilliant, right? I'm a Palace fan. Like, I've seen us lift the trophy in Europe. I've seen us win the FA Cup. Like, I've lived and loved every minute of that. But like people think I'm mad. Like I'd rather Croydon get promoted than England win the Premier League, England win the World Cup. Promise you.
Wow.
That's what that means to me. Like non-league football, when you get that bug, you get that bug, and until you taste it and feel it and smell it, like it's so real. Like it's so real. Like the highs, the lows, so close and connected with everyone and everything. Like every pound matters. Like everything matters. Like the clubs just survive. Like we go to teams where there's like 20 people in the stand, like they're losing money every week, and they're like, but people still do it because they love it. And football should never lose that. And do you know what? That's what makes English football so special, because you look at the 10th tier of football in Spain, like you wouldn't even know those teams. The 10th tier in English football, like I played we had the semi-finals of the playoffs, like 2,000 people there. 2,000 people to watch the 10th tier of English football. Like that's more than most teams in Scotland get in the top tier of football. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So it's true. Like,
it's true, yeah.
Who watches St Johnstone versus Dundee United? Not many people. Like, there's as many people at Croydon versus SE Dons. Like,
that's crazy.
So I think it's getting bigger and better, but it's about accessibility, isn't it? Like, turning up. I think the biggest thing is people just need to try it.
Yeah.
Like when your team aren't playing, like just go and watch it.
That's so true. Because I've been to loads of non-league grounds, and it's fun because it's an atmosphere. You get like a burger, you get a beer, you meet people. Do you know what I mean? Especially if it's your local team. So I'm definitely gonna. I haven't been to Croydon for years, but I'm definitely gonna.
Mate, I'll put your name on the.
No. I want to pay for my ticket because, like you said, every pound matters. So people have to.
Pays my big salary. That's
is that? Oh yeah. So people got to show support. It's a 10-minute walk from my house, so I'll be there. I can't wait. That was amazing. Thank you for dropping by.
No
that
problem,
was great. That was really.
It's hot in here, by the way.